morning. Midnight Productions, gifting 2 tier 1 subs. Thanks for the support. What's up, Doc? Kind of having a crisis of confidence. I don't know. At least in terms of drawing stuff that will be appreciated on Twitter. I hope you slept well like a normal, hardworking person. I did not sleep well. I have this weird issue with the current futon I'm using where, like, if there's any kind of air opening in the futon to let in outside air, if it's not properly sealed, I get cold. But if it isn't properly sealed, or if it is properly sealed, I also wake up in the middle of the night in a hot sweat. So I'm trying to figure out, like, I tried sleeping wearing pants last night and then, like, having the futon cracked open, but then it kind of, like, got closed and then I woke up in a hot sweat again. What is it with my body? Like, I just have a tendency to overheat the fuck out of everything. I'm also going through like a creative crisis mode. I think I just need to... I didn't think I would run out of things to say, but I'm feeling kind of like I don't have much to say right now. I don't really think that's a function of, like me getting old or there being like, or me just like, having been drawing pictures on the internet for like 15 years now, and then so I've basically done all like the low-hanging fruit. I think it's more like, I feel like the current state of culture is really weak, and as a result, like, I'm not feeling, I don't feel like there's much for me to bounce off of. Maybe it's just me not going out of my way to, maybe that is just getting old, as in like, everything, if everything feels like I've seen it before, maybe that literally is just me getting old, but I kind of feel like that isn't the situation. It's actually just culture is kind of being like stagnant right now, like not me. Art block happens to everyone. It's K. This is the worst time to use the internet outside of money making. I just got a YouTube ad for AI sex chat nonsense. To be fair, we don't even know if it's a good time to use the internet for money making either. Because we don't know if any of those people that are, you know, filling your feed with stupid AI shit are actually making money. There's all these courses telling people how to make money using stupid AI shit and stuff, for example. But if courses for making something exist, there's a high chance that the people who are actually making the thing aren't making money, and it's more profitable for the people instructing them how to make money instead of the people who are actually trying to do the thing. You know, the selling shovels to gold rushers strategy. I think that's like nobody actually makes money from drop shipping, right? Everybody who's making money related to drop shipping are the people who are like, hey, try my drop shipping course, blah blah blah. But you know, that was the thing, internet thing before our current version of AI bullshit. Internet culture is entering a strange time. It's certainly interesting to watch currently. Part of the problem is that, like, this probably has to do with me getting old, but I'm not particularly in line with whatever is popular for the kids. Or not even just the kids, just people in general. Like, I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and I stopped after the first, like, watching 80% of the first season or whatever. And so I'm checking out Twitter before I started the stream to see if there was anything that would inspire me to go. And yeah, people just being like, oh, I love this Jujutsu Kaisen character, and I'm like, shit. If I want to do something that appeals to, you know, the Japanese audience, I need to draw Jujutsu Kaisen, but I don't care about Jujutsu Kaisen, you know? New Harry Potter series, maybe? Is there a new Harry Potter series? In 3 years? Draw Itadori's mom. Itadori Yuji mother. Oh, this is what everyone's posting about. I would be like the millionth time on internet that someone has pointed out that the parasitic ancient sorcerer dude was like, I'm gonna inhabit a sexy female body and have sex as a woman and get my pussy pounded so I can give birth. This is my master plan. Hee hee hee. Absolute fucking hilarious. The greatest prank of all time. Power Girl, there I said it. Fine, let's draw some Power Girl. Luminous Connoisseur, thanks for the sub. Power Girl has short hair, but it could be shorter. This is my opinion on literally every female at this point. It's like, yes, I see. She is a short-haired character, but perhaps the hair could be shorter. And then they do the side shave, and I'm like, not like that! Not like that! That's not what I meant! Not the side shave. I don't get how her hair goes. Every person draws her hair differently. It also doesn't help that in basically literally every single image of her, she's flying around, so her hair has to be in some state of, like, you know, swishing around in the air or something, so... Konbanwa, BB-sama. It's morning in Japan, you fake Japanese. If we were going full typing in katakana mode, we would just be like, good morning. You understand the amount of dedication it takes for me to wake up at 7 a.m. to fucking stream? The answer is it's not that high, actually, because... BB started to draw a schlong instinctively. No, I did not. What the fuck are you talking about? Just because you can't see the obvious shapes I'm creating on this white canvas doesn't mean I'm drawing a penis, you sick fucks. I was just wondering if there's any jokes I could make about Itadori's mom getting the dick that people haven't already made on Twitter. Power Girl should have a villain nemesis who is just a flat Becky. If canonically Power Girl is just Superman or Superman's cousin or whatever from an alternate universe, wouldn't she basically be invincible? Maybe she doesn't have the level of bullshit powers that Superman gets pretty regularly, just because it's, let's be honest, most of Superman's powers isn't the fact that he's from Krypton, it's because he has insane levels of plot armor, and it goes both ways in his case, in that, like, sometimes he has to be super weak to make the plot go forward. It's like, oh, Batman shot me with the kryptonite shotgun. Oh, I can't win now. It's like, damn. The plot armor is going both ways, but you know. I still find it funny, dude got clapped all for plan. Jujutsu Kaisen is wild, silly as shit. If there's one thing I know from all the TS hentai I've read, when the guy gets magically turned into a female, like the first few weeks he's like, I'm a man! But as soon as he starts receiving large Chad penis, all that, you know, the brain cells go out as he truly understands the great pleasure it is taking cock, and he quickly becomes feminized. So I'm gonna think about Kotetsu's mother in the same way. Jujutsu Kaisen mangaka hates female characters so much he even makes the MC's mom a guy. I don't care how many official reports we have saying that the Jujutsu Kaisen Gege is a male. In my mind, it will always be a Fujoshi. Even if he's a man, he gets the honorary Fujoshi card. It's the equivalent of like Al Pacino being allowed to use the N-word among black circles because he made Scarface or something like that. In my mind, Jujutsu Kaisen author will always be Fujoshi. How much space do I have here? Hispanics used to use the N-word a lot back in the day. Well, Al Pacino isn't a Hispanic either. I think it's just that the black media consumers really enjoyed Scarface. So they're like, Al Pacino, he's one of us. Al Pacino, not a Cuban, by the way, despite what Scarface is trying to tell us. Al Pacino is very respected among Puerto Ricans. No blacks, as far as I know. Could be wrong. I don't know. I just read somewhere that he has street cred among the black media consumers of the time because of Scarface. Sicilians are the blacks of Italians, so this is where I remember a specific 4chan post calling women the N-word of gender. To this day, I find that shit funny. That's a genuine song by the Beatles or something. 12 Years a Sandwich Slave. In retrospect, as someone who's being forced to do all of his cooking nowadays, if I was going to yell at my wife to go into the kitchen, I wouldn't ask her to make me a sandwich. The fact that the default mode is like sandwich making shows what poor culinary culture America has as a whole. Sandwiches are pretty easy to make, and I definitely don't need some random female to go in and like fuck up the bread or whatever. I could probably make a better sandwich than 95% of women at this point, but I don't really want to or need to. Because I'm in Japan, so I have access to better food options, you know? We can do better than taking some shitty cold cut meats and putting them between two slices of bread and being like, here's your lunch, my abusive husband. It's true, Japanese housewife is expected to make 10 side dishes with the entree? Yeah. You think that that's like an extreme version, but like it might be fine before you have kids, but if you're going to like an elementary school, I went to Japanese elementary school in Kyoto back in the day in like the 90s, and the school itself had extremely like robust school lunches, but each one of the school lunches, they're like, we're making sure your child is eating 20 ingredients in our school lunch. So they have like 3 or 4 side dishes, which are each full of like 5 different vegetables and shit like that. And then like if that school found out that like your default school lunch or the default lunch for your child after when they're not going to school was just like eat some bread, they'd be like, the teacher would probably call you out and be like, ma'am, you have to do better. The social pressure to like do well in Japan, especially if you are a female housewife, is particularly strong. Which is why they all go insane and start putting cyanide in their cooking or something like that. Get up 3 hours before school. Apparently Japan has the largest housewife population in the developed world or something, so a lot of women still choose to do that. You gotta be a class A retard to fuck up a basic sandwich. Really basic, to be honest. If I'm gonna be abusive to my wife and tell her that she has to go into the kitchen to make me a sandwich, she better be making like some insane, properly buttered and grilled, high class, like the best grilled cheese sandwich that includes like special select cheeses from the local grocer or some shit like that. Once they get knocked up, they leave the workplace. Yeah. Which has also led to workplaces being like, we don't want to hire women because they're going to leave. And they do leave. Honestly, most of Japan's, like, people not having kids problem doesn't come from married women, by the way. It's not like America where it's like, I have found my partner as a that which has a penis and he can impregnate me, but I want to prioritize my job as a high-powered attorney. That's more important to me. It's not like that. It's more like I'm a femcel virgin and I spend all my time lusting after Korean K-pop stars and I can't form a real relationship with another person. And that's like 30% of the Japanese female population and like 50% of Japanese male population. And those people aren't having kids. The females that can properly form human relationships, they just get knocked up and they shit out like 2 or 3 kids. So it's actually it's just a virgin problem. K-pop stans are weird, man. Haha. K-pop stans are the equivalent of anime coomers who have idealized views of like the female gender and they get them in the 2-dimensional space, except K-pop stans have somehow found the 3D real human version of that and put all of their baggage on these poor Korean kids. It's an extremely unhealthy practice, but there's nothing we can do to stop it. The femcells are too powerful. They were doing it before K-pop, you know. There was all these Johnny bands, Johnnies as we call them, for a long time in Japan before K-pop was a thing. And then it turned out that the guy called Johnny, who was the person who was the producer behind all these boy bands, was also raping all the boys and stuff like that. And he was able to go his entire life without getting called on it, out on it. It was one of these big, powerful, open secrets in Japanese society, and then the media refused to do anything about it because he had so much influence. It's a particularly fucked up situation. You're talking about that again, LMAO? It turns out all our hentai about the idol girls being forced to have sex with ugly old men was true, except it was true for both genders. It included the young boys as well. Are the boobs big enough? That's the question we must ask ourselves. The good thing about Power Girl is you can make her very muscular as well. which means you can give her a larger frame to support more boobs. Can't remember. I'm looking at a variety. God, Power Girl has so many fucking different costumes. Jesus. While I like drawing big titty superheroes, I'm very glad that it's not my job to shit out whatever the corporation tells me to be doing. I feel like this one image that I found looking for Power Girl reference images perfectly encapsulates the core problem of American art styles. Whoever drew this, they understood that Power Girl needs to have big boobs and cleavage, but this is the fucking face they draw. This is why when Japanese people fucking shit on American comics and stuff like that, this is exactly what they mean. And when white people are like, anime is based off of white people, and then Japan is like, bro, when you guys draw white people, this is what you fucking draw. Well, what does this have to do with anime? You sick fucks. I have never seen JP people shit on American superhero comics. Honestly, they don't, because they have no interest. American superhero comics is beyond just like having no presence in Japan. People don't even know that that shit exists. They're like, oh, I heard MCU was in the movie theater. That's about as far as it goes. And instead of going to watch Marvel, they watch Conan movie version number 5833 or whatever. That example was the worst of these examples. Most of the Power Girl DC art isn't that bad. However, the fact that it still shows up, you know, that ain't great. Didn't Demon Slayer outsell the whole comic industry one year? Keck W? Yeah. American comics aren't particularly relevant, even with among their own fan bases in America, so they just don't have any kind of mass appeal that speaks to anyone at this point. Better to make Guna designs than make realistic looking characters. That's just one problem. I mean, Demon Slayer had Guna design. Demon Slayer author, parentheses, female, was like, I will appeal to the male audience. And they put in weird watermelon hair colored women whose tits keep on falling out. And everyone was just like, thanks, I'll stick to my yaoi fanfiction instead. I will masturbate to female Muzan instead of whatever character you have created to appeal to me, the male reader. How big can I make the boobs? This is the Taimanin size. I've said this before, but I grade boobs in two sizes, big boobs in two sizes. The size of the character's face and the size of the character's head. And once they get larger than the character's head, they get into like ridiculously too large territory. And if you look at the Taimanin character designs, i.e. porn, in general, the largest their boob size tends to go is the size of the character's head, which is what they are at right now. And before I just expanded them, I had them at about the face size right here, which is what her boob size actually is, if you look at the reference images. Omegaverse be popping off over here. Women weren't just okay with having men have sex with other men using either their asshole or the unspecific yaoi hole, in which the penis goes into a hole that exists but is not an asshole. They had to take it one step further, and they were like, yes, but what if he got pregnant? You know? What if he got pregnant? They couldn't help themselves. Do you know if, you know how birds have, like, the cloaca and stuff like that? Does the eggs come out of the cloaca as well? I know the shit and piss also comes out of the cloaca. Hold on, we have to look this shit up. Cloaca. A common cavity at the end of a digestive tract for the release of both excretory and genital products in vertebrates and certain invertebrates. A single opening in animals plus humans. How does mating with a cloaca work? The cloaca is a multi-purpose opening used for excretion, reproduction, and laying eggs. In a moment of intimacy, the male hops onto the female's back to connect their respective cloacae is the plural, for a cloacal kiss. By briefly pressing their cloacas together, they exchange genetic material for fertilization. We're currently on the Vulture Conservation Foundation's bearded vultures copulating in the wild in slow motion. This task requires quite some exquisite skills, and the cloacae contact lasts for just a few seconds. So the male does it repeatedly several times a day to ensure there is enough time to transfer his sperm to the female. So what you're saying is, They have a multi-purpose shitting, pissing, impregnation yaoi hole. And they have to be constantly jamming the yaoi hole into the other yaoi hole to achieve male Omegaverse pregnancy. Seems legit. I can't take women seriously when they criticize male gooners for shit like liking lesbian content when you have shit like Omegaverse, LMAO. The male lesbian coomers are particularly mentally ill, but yes. The Yuri pigs are pigs for a reason. I think we can make the boobs a little bit bigger, though. It's important for, I feel like, boobs to be distracting. As in, like, you're trying to focus on the rest of the picture, but the boobs are taking up too much space. And you're like, these things are getting in the way of the general appeal of the piece. That's the right size of boobs. I wrote this about Tifa's boobs when the Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and someone thought I had mistyped saying that boobs shouldn't be distracting, but I was like, no, they should be distracting, and they should take away from the rest of the experience. That's the amount of weight the boobs should have in the space. Just missing one mod now? Who's the other mod? I didn't even know he had a lot of mods. I knew his Strixia was a mod, but I couldn't remember who the other mods were. Both visual and mental weight, yes. The boobs should be like that one regretful thing that you did and you keep on thinking about the rest of your life. Like the time that you committed manslaughter when you drove over that person or something like that. They're always on your mind, just kind of occupying. Actually, that's not a good metaphor, because that's something like that just like popped into your mind at the wrong time. Boobs should be more like, I don't know, the murderous clown in the side of your eye. And like your buddy is like, just ignore the clown with the meat cleaver covered in blood. It's not a big deal. And you're like, I don't know. I don't know. I just keep on thinking about the murder clown. It's like, no, don't worry about them. That's what boobs are like. You're just like, stop staring at her boobs. But then the more they tell you to not look at the boobs, the more you want to look at them. Women are terrifying. Not the ones around here. Japanese women have been relatively accommodating to me recently, mainly because I have just been talking to Japanese women in commercial establishments who are taking care of my cell phone plan and stuff. Best example gotta be Lulu, Final Fantasy X. Boobs are awesome. I fucking hate how in Final Fantasy X they cock block you by making it so that depending on which character you have the most experience like with in your battles and stuff, you get to have different characters on the snowmobile ride or whatever, like halfway through the game. But then you get shoehorned into the Yuna route no matter what, how much time you've spent with the big titty goth girl. You still have to end up with Yuna. Instead, Waka gets to plow Lulu, the lucky bastard. We literally made this joke in the previous stream, but why do the racist blitzball chads always get the hottest girls? The funny thing is that if you are a pathetic incel anime otaku, there are literally no men in Final Fantasy X that you can like self-insert as. It's just like meathead chads, from the protagonist to the protagonist's buddy to the protagonist's mentor. They're all just meathead chads. To the protagonist's father, just gachimuchi jocks from beginning to end. Back to heckling meatball with oatmeal and suggestions to color. By the way, I am eating not necessarily oatmeal, but I'm eating granola in Japan because they don't have many good cereal options. And I couldn't quit my cereal habit. I just like eating crunchy flakes or just crunchy food covered in cold milk. It's also a good way for me to get essential vitamins and shit. But most of the cereals they have here is like this weird granola combo with, it's primarily puffed soybeans, because like everything has to be soybeans in Japan, but it also has a bunch of oat in it. I think it's just like oat grain. It's not really oatmeal. I don't know what counts as oatmeal and what counts as non-oatmeal, but the number one reason why I don't like oatmeal is A, because it's kind of flavorless, which is why people put all their brown sugar and shit on it, but also because it makes me fart. So the Japanese granola also makes me fart because it has oats in it still, but it's like 60% puffed soybeans and like 20% oats, so it's not as bad. What's your favorite food? I was going to say spaghetti, but now that I've come to Japan, I haven't made spaghetti once yet, so I guess it wasn't as important to me as I thought it was. It's probably because it's not cold over here. Spaghetti is a good comfort food if you're in cold Midwestern climate, but not necessarily if you're in Japan. Also, I eat too much bread already. I don't need to eat more wheat by consuming pasta. Just like oat makes me fart, grains as a whole make me fart. Not rice though, but udon and soba also make me fart. I have to limit my grains these days. Everyone's like, you can't eat the carbs. And I'm like, no, I will fucking eat the carbs. Try and stop me, bitch. You can't stop me. I had no choice last year. Now I can. I just don't want to. I didn't really want to eat bread when I was in America, but now that I'm in Japan, the bread options are extremely good, so... The other day, I went grocery shopping and I bought proper food, but they also had, like, a bunch of, you know, kashipan is the word that we use for, like, basically pastries, but bread that's supposed to be bread, but it's actually just, like, chunks of sugar. So I bought like a jumbo-sized, like long bread that was full of anko bean paste and a melon pan, which in total is about 1,000 calories of pure carbs and sugar, and I ate both of them, and like I could feel my insulin levels rising to like fatal levels, and I had to go run outside and like run at high speed for about an hour just to like make sure I didn't die of insulin overdose. And I was just like, okay, we're getting too old for this shit. I know you were okay with doing this back in the day, but you're gonna have to figure out how you're not gonna do this going forward, because you're fucking old. You can't be like annihilating your sugar intake like that. Snack bread, I guess, is a good way of translating. How much for a loaf? Well, this was on the on sale cart, so it was like 100 yen. It was like 98 yen for a bag. Adulting is such a comic skit idea. Make no mistake, I probably already eat better than like 90% of the people in chat here. I eat my salads before I eat anything else. My current diet consists of high protein, low carbs, relatively low calories, brown rice, natto, egg on rye toast, granola, fish, very little red meat. I'm basically eating the like heart healthy, low calorie diets that like the doctors are gonna tell you to eat. If they're like, if you don't change your diet, you're gonna die. Already I'm doing that diet, so I don't like this hair. The hair is going to be the hardest part here, Because she doesn't have any, like, stable hair shape. It really changes on a page-to-page basis. I might have to bring out my porn collection. Because I have, like, a bunch of AI-generated Power Girl porn. As well as, the Power Girl porn from, Butchayu. Ball using AI references, Oarida. The thing is, when it comes to something that they don't have like a consistent shape, AI references giving you like 10 million different variations of the hairstyle is actually helpful. Because I've already self-selected among the various hairstyles patterns that we could already have. Didn't he release his Hooters themed work recently? Did you hear that Hooters had gone bankrupt? I didn't know about this. I didn't know that Hooters had gone bankrupt until Butchayu released his latest Hooters doujin, in which Hooters is going bankrupt. And I was like, shit. Well, I guess I should have seen that one coming, right? I mean, when's the last time anyone has been to a Hooters? Wasn't called Pooters or something with emphasis on the poo? Yes. The P being a very subtle reference to the vagina, as in the pussy. Also, to avoid him getting sued. I assume. I hear their wings are good. I'm not really interested in eating wings either. I don't like shit in which I have to get my hands covered in sauce. It makes the entire experience less fun. I don't want to be like, my fingers, they're covered in buffalo sauce, you know. Although people are like, their wings are so good, but how hard can it be to make wings in general? What place has, like, bad wings, for example? Who is like, man, that place's wings sucked. They're just, like, the most basic-ass, like, you take chicken, you fry it, and, like, you cover it in fucking sauce. It's such a basic, like, we're gonna appeal to the human desire for salt and fat. If your wings aren't good, it means you're really bad at whatever. Buffalo Wild Wings? I've never had wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. The only time I've went to Buffalo Wild Wings was once, in which I wanted to watch the sports game, but I didn't want to actually pay for, like, cable and shit, so I was like, we're going to the sports bar. You literally only go there for sports. Their strength is they have like 30 TVs up. Their weakness is the food that you have to order to watch the TV. Similar to Hooters or Pooters, according to Butchayu. Their strength is the titties. Their weakness is the food that you have to eat if you want to go there and look at the titties. Or something, I don't know. I've never been to a Hooters. I don't think there was one in my local area. Then you must drink to compensate. Also, a lot of these bar places, they have, you know, drinks, alcohol to overcome their low quality food. As someone who doesn't drink, I want to go to places that don't serve alcohol because I feel like if you serve alcohol, that just automatically makes the job easier for you to have subpar food because people are just like, I'm on my third drink. The food isn't as bad as I thought it was. Her breast and lateral muscles need to be bigger. I've already done my rough draft. They are the correct size. I might make them bigger later, but I don't know. Oh! Ah! Wings are so fucking expensive now. It's depressing. They used to be the thing that you were supposed to throw away. And then everyone was like, oh, I like this wing thing. And now everyone only eats the wings. And as a result, they are overpriced. Especially when you consider how little meat you get on these things. It's bullshit that they'd be like, oh, you must pay so much for the thing where you only get a small amount of meat attached to it. I can't remember the last time I was drunk. It's time that we all just admit that alcohol is bad for us and we shouldn't be drinking. We have enough studies to be like, you shouldn't be drinking at all. So unless you actually enjoy getting drunk, which I don't think many people actually enjoy getting drunk, you should just not be consuming alcohol in general. It's only good for dulling the pain of having to speak to people at the holiday function or whatever. The army chocolate was made bitter so the troops didn't stress eat it. It's only there to deliver caffeine, not to make you enjoy life. If you are in the army, you must enjoy being in pain, I guess. Making the chocolate bitter would backfire for me. As someone who also likes dark chocolate and bitter chocolate the same. Also, I think I've talked about this before, but there was a study that said that people who prefer bitter flavors it's an indicator for possible sociopaths. Dark chocolate, black coffee, green olives. People who like these things at a much higher rate of sociopathology, psychopathology, whatever. And when I heard that, I was like, of course! I love all those things. It makes total sense now. No olives, fuck olives. I enjoyed eating olives, especially green olives, but then I realized they were just another sodium delivery mechanism, which I didn't need more in my life, so I stopped eating them. In general, we eat too much sodium, as well as sugar. So the things that we can cut out of our diet, sodium related, we probably should try and cut them. Otters and beavers were also declared fish so they could eat meat during fasting. They are in the water. When I see otter or beaver in water, I eat it. I don't worry. If someone wants something nasty to eat a rice cracker. Americans will do everything to avoid eating like proper food. Rice, an extremely easy object to eat. They're like, but what if it was a cracker and covered with weird barbecue sauce flavoring? Americans will do anything to just eat real food. Is it just China or is it Japan too where people love MSG? Japan has a lot of MSG, but not as much as it used to. I can tell it's kind of gone down a little. Anyways, I have more serious food additive shit to worry about when I'm in Japan in terms of like what kind of weird ass shit. Japan is a country in which they allow a shit ton of various pesticides and food additives and stuff in the food, and people don't really care about it. So I have to decide what I'm going to allow myself to eat and what I'm going to worry about giving me cancer and what I'm just gonna, you know, not care about and just eat. My first week of being here was basically reading the backs of a lot of food labels in the grocery store and deciding like what I'm going to allow myself to eat and what I'm not going to eat. All the delicious konbini trash. I don't know if anybody has been keeping track of this shit, but people in Japan know that nobody goes to the konbini store, the konbini convenience store anymore, because it's super expensive now. Like everything has been, the prices on everything has gone way up. And you're like, but that's just inflation. It's like, no, the prices in the supermarket, like the same item in the supermarket, is still the same price. It's just the convenience stores. Convenience stores have jacked off their prices to like an insane degree. And I'm not sure what their business strategy is, but I hear that just there's way fewer people who buy shit in convenience stores. It used to be like a 10% markup compared to if you were just buying shit in the grocery store. But now it's like anywhere between a 50% to like 120% markup. Like some shit just straight up costs like 2.5 times what you would get in the grocery store. I don't understand why it's gotten that way, but it really is like prohibitively expensive. I have basically not really bought anything in a convenience store since I got to Japan. It just is a huge waste of money. What are they thinking? I do not know. It's kind of bizarre. It's because tourists, right? But most convenience stores are like independently owned, so they should be theoretically adjusting their prices based on the number of gaijin in the area, but that doesn't really seem to be the case. I believe eel still has uncommonly high mercury levels for its size. Well, I don't have the budget to be eating meal in the first place, so... That's the problem with all the whole health people being like, you should eat fish. It's like, okay, but what about the mercury levels? They're like, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't worry about the health effects of stuff and only worry about it when you can clearly feel there's an immediate negative effect on your health, like, I don't know, alcohol, or that insane amount of sugar I ate. And it was like, holy shit, my blood sugar levels are exploding. In those cases, I can clearly feel my body getting fucked up in real time, so it's easier to be like, maybe I should not be eating this. My doctor told me I have to cut salt, but fuck dude, everything has salt. The problem is, yeah, everything has salt. The most easiest way to make things taste better when you eat out is just add a bunch of salt to it. So that's basically like the strategy of every single, you know, restaurant and shit. So what it comes down is you have to eat at home, eat your own home cooked meals, and then not put salt on it is basically what you're forced to do. That's how it is with Ampan. Good for the soul, terrible for blood sugar. You know what tastes really good with Ampan? Milk. The Ampan milk combo is exceptionally good. You know what milk also has in it? Sugar. So not only are you raising your blood sugar levels with the Ampan, now you're also raising them with the milk that you eat it with as well. If my pressure ever gets that high, it's over. My dumbass lives in Texas. Salt isn't everything. Just living in Texas is basically the equivalent of like living in a contaminated nuclear waste area like Chernobyl or something in terms of like the long-term effect on your health. Except instead of being like contaminated by radiation, you have to be worried about getting contaminated by grits covered in bacon grease with a triple size Coke or whatever. Did you call my home a toxic dump? It's not really just Texas, it's like the entire south of the border in America, if we're gonna be realistic. Obesity map US. (2024) adult obesity prevalence map for 49 states. Overall obesity. Tennessee is so redneck they couldn't even get the data, but yeah. The power of the flyover state, boys. Let's go! Red means between 35 and 40% obesity, boys. Even like the coastal states where you have white girls being like, I'm only gonna eat celery for lunch because I have to look hot. Even those, even California is between 25 and 30%. Meanwhile, I'm in Japan and I haven't seen like even a moderately fat person in like a week now, probably. Even when you see a quote-unquote fat person in Japan, they're just like a little bit squishy at most. You never see like the true lard asses. Like sometimes in America you'll be walking around, well not when walking around because those people don't walk around as well, but you'll see like somebody like getting out of their massive truck in the Home Depot parking lot and stuff, and you're like, holy shit. That guy is like, his fat has got fat. God damn. But you never have that experience in Japan. Probably because they die of diabetes before they can actually get that fat. If you talk about American fatness in Japan, one of the opinions you often see on the internet is that the ability to get fat is like its own form of like skill. Because like Japanese, they're not even capable of getting that fat. Their body can't handle it. I eat like once a day, but when I do it, it's just garbage and beer. Now that I'm living alone, I realize that if I don't properly eat 3 meals a day, what happens is that when I get to like, and I skip a meal, and I'm like, oh, that's fine, fasting is good. But when I skip a meal, when I get to like the point where I want to eat something and I need to prepare food for myself, I'm too fucking hungry to prepare food. So I just like grab whatever is like I can eat immediately and stuff it in my fat fucking face. And as a result, like I start eating very unhealthy. So I need to eat 3 meals a day and eat before I start to get like starving hungry. I have to eat breakfast now or else I'm fucked. It's just like I'll just like eat like 5 bananas and all the granola because I don't want to like properly cook something. I'm super hungry now, but I'm too hungry to actually like go through the process of preparing shit for myself. Fuck. Yeah, I heard that protein, that's another thing. Now that I'm over 35, approaching 40, I actually have to eat like 90 grams of protein per day. Also, I'm like working out harder now. I'm doing a bunch of calisthenic shit, which means I need to eat just like lots of protein in general. And like you can't really store protein, so you have to eat it throughout the day to make sure your body constantly has a supply of protein if you want to be replenishing your muscles. The protein farts? It's not protein that makes me fart. It's the carbs in my case. All the bread. The protein I can digest fine. I know the brappers out there are like, milady, I've noticed that you've been eating particularly a large amount of eggs today, yes? I've noticed that the farts are even smellier than usual, Quite succulent taste. But, yeah. In my case, I don't really get the protein farts. Do you do any yoga too? No. Calisthenics? Well, when I say calisthenics, I just mean like weight training without using weights because I don't have access to weights because I'm not going to a gym. because the gym is too far away. But there's a nice running route, so I can do a lot of high-speed aerobic running, and then I have to do like my weight training using my own body weight. So just like squats, 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 squats. Do your squats, son. Do you do pull-ups on the monkey bars? Yeah, I do. I can feel my strength just going down on a daily basis, though, now that I'm getting old. So I really have to actually force myself to train to failure, which isn't something that I was doing in the past, but like I really have to do it to the point where I can't do anymore and my muscles hurt, which is not much fun, but if you want to build muscle, you have to actually train to failure and then, you know, eat protein is basically how it works, right? So I think Ball might actually be jacked. I look jacked because I have lower body fat percentage now than I used to. Because, you know, I'm in Japan. I swear to God, the whole thing of, like, fat asses, American fat asses coming to Japan and then, like, losing a shit ton of weight even though they're eating tonkatsu every day is, like, the meme is real, man. And I was like, why am I so hungry? Why am I losing so much weight? Like, I immediately lost, like, 5 pounds. Like in the first few days when I got to Japan. I'm like, why the fuck is my weight so low? And I realized, like, everything I eat is anywhere between 30% and 50% smaller than it was in America. Like, even the bananas are fucking smaller. Like, somehow the bananas are tiny. But it's just like, the portion that you eat, it's like, the Japanese portions are like the portions that Michelle Obama was promoting when she was trying to stop Americans from being fat. They're like the size of the back of your hand and stuff. And as like an American with my expanded fucking stomach, when I eat these small portions, I'm like, huh, I ate my entire plate, so why am I still so goddamn hungry? And I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm not eating as much. They're just not giving you as much food. Like, what the fuck? How can this be? Then again, there's also sumo wrestlers that look fat, but they're a literal lump of solid muscle. Those round bellies don't jiggle. Yes, they do. Sumo wrestlers are large lumps of muscle that is then covered with fat. And they also have all the health problems that come with being a fat person, including like diabetes and stuff like that. They have the worst life expectancy out of any sport. It's literally the worst thing you could do to your body. You're doing all this sort of extreme strength training, but then you're covering yourself in so much food that you're still getting fat, and then you're doing all the debilitating shit that comes from high contact martial arts like not CRT or CBT, you know, CRT, right? The football brain degenerative shit. Everything about sumo wrestling is awful for you. I think the only thing keeping me from being fat is the fact that I'm poor. In America, the poor people also get fat because our poor people food generally is more unhealthy. The cheaper food is more unhealthy and fattening. If you see people on food stamps in America, half the time they're just like huge waddling lard ass fat ass motherfuckers. It comes with the territory. Calories is something that Americans definitely have enough of. There is no calorie shortage in America, and there's no nutrition shortage either, honestly. If you combine that, like the general amount of food people eat. So the whole RFK, like Americans need to eat more protein shit. It's like Americans don't actually need to eat more protein, but the advice itself isn't necessarily incorrect, because if you're eating protein, it's probably like, it's gonna keep you more full than like other stuff. It's like anything besides the American diet of just like non-stop carbs and sugar is probably an improvement. So people clowning on RFK Jr. and his stupid health plan, which is like, we should eat beef tallow and shit like that. Like, they're halfway right and halfway wrong. Food desert feels good, man. Yeah. I will go to my local gas station to procure the food. Feels good, man. There's 3 grocery stores within like walking distance in my area. So I go to different ones on different days to buy different options. Gas station food is expensive here. Holy fuck, it's unreal. If the gas station is the only place in which you can procure food, and it's also expensive, you're kind of fucked. Hence why I was calling Texas like a nuclear waste dump. If you're talking about like health options, like if there's no grocery store in your area, you're basically being given a death sentence in terms of like healthy eating, right? You're pretty much fucked from the get-go. There is no amount of food, no kind of food in a gas station that's probably going to be good for your health. You're 100% fucked at that point. Define walking distance because it's vastly different for Americans, LMAO. Yes, Americans also cannot walk. I walk to everything right now, which is also contributing greatly to my weight going down rapidly. My aunt, who owns the area, the apartment, asked me if I wanted a bike. She had a bike available, and I was like, nah, that's okay. And I told her it's because I wanted to be healthy, but the truth is, I was just like tired of having to worry about some sort of periphery object I have to like keep track of. Like, it's not like biking in America where you can just like chain your bike up wherever and the only thing you're worrying about is whether it gets stolen or not, because too many people in Japan use bikes. So as a result, like if you're going to some place on a bike, you have to treat it in the same way as like if you have a car. Like if I wanted to go to the local office to do my citizenship stuff, um, like you have to get like a parking ticket number and stuff for your bike, for example. It's just a whole nother layer of shit that you have to worry about. I'm just like, if it's biking distance, it's probably walking distance, and especially it's running distance. So if I'm going to be forcing myself to be running and getting exercise anyways, do I really want to spend time worrying about, you know, maintaining the bike and parking it and shit? So yeah, I'm just walking everywhere. It's easier that way. Biking is too dangerous. Someone will hit you in America. Someone will hit you in America, whether you're on a bike or whether you're running or whatever. I mean, there's sidewalks in Japan, so, and you're allowed to. It's pretty weird how in America you're not allowed to use your bike on the sidewalk, because if there's any location in which you need to be able to allowed to be used to, you need to be allowed to use your bike on the sidewalk, it would be America. But they're like, no, it's too dangerous for the pedestrians if people are on their bicycles on the sidewalk. It's like, okay. In Japan, everyone's riding their bike on the sidewalk, and you have to be careful when you're walking, because if you suddenly like jump to the left, you might get hit from behind by a bicycle. So I'm always checking behind me, because like the bicycles, they just come by you. Even if you are in a car in America, ICE comes around to shoot you. You know, ICE is getting a lot of credit for shooting civilians nowadays, but we have to remember the good job that our traditional police force has been doing shooting civilians for many years before ICE started taking up that mantle. I, for one, have never forgotten all the sacrifices our police make to shoot civilians on a daily basis. When my local Chad police officer feels slightly threatened because he hears a loud noise of a acorn falling on his police car, he must pull out his weapon and start discharging it at everybody around him. Honestly, the only way to have a society like America in which everybody is allowed to be armed at all times and not have a shit ton of police shootings is for police to have the attitude of like, I don't care if I get gunned down, I'm not gonna shoot anybody by mistake no matter what happens. I'm definitely gonna wait for them to, you know, 100% start firing at me before I start firing back. But American police officers definitely do not have that attitude. They're like, I better kill anybody that has the slight possibility of owning a weapon just to make sure that I am safe. Well, if you're going to vote for a country in which everybody is allowed to own a weapon, that basically just ends up with, you know, the police being prepared to discharge their gun at you at any point. Like, the only way that you can be safe as a police officer 100% is if you literally just murder everybody around you, because you don't know who has a gun, and everyone is allowed to own a gun as well, so... American police are professionally trained. American police are professionally trained, and a lot of them join the police force just so that they can own a weapon and shoot at people. I read that the vast majority of ICE agents weren't able to clear their physical requirements or something. ICE agents physical requirements not cleared or something. ICE recruits are failing fitness tests. More than 1/3 of new ICE recruits were unable to pass Academy's basic fitness requirements, apparently. ICE recruits struggling to pass the fitness test with 15 push-ups and 32 sit-ups. Holy shit, that's bad. So it's literally just like these random ass, physically unfit motherfuckers. They're pulling them off the streets. They can't even pass their fucking fitness test. It's just like they're getting random people who want to shoot people. And they're like, go ahead, go into our cities with your guns and police people. Surely nothing bad will happen from this. It's like how mean girls become nurses to terrorize people outside of high school. Yeah, it's like, you know, Tanner from high school who wasn't able to get a real job as a police officer and can't pass his fucking academy fitness test and can't join the military because he can't do fucking 15 push-ups. Gets to go and be a big boy with a gun thanks to ICE. That's where we've come to. It's a private army? I mean, that's what Trump thinks it is. Trump wants ICE to become his private army. It's not really there yet. But if he wants a third term, he better have some kind of private army. You're not really a dictator if you don't get your own private army. Tanner failed the academy, so he became an ICE agent. When the incredibly low standards we require from our police officers are still too high, that's when we get the ICE agent corps. Now he's doing meth when he isn't touching detained illegals. Honestly, I don't think he's doing meth because that would probably help with the whole weight issues. People on meth, they end up getting all like skinny because they're like, they have too much energy. They're like painting their house for the third time in the middle of the night because they've been like up for 30 hours thanks to all the meth. Twitch, I'm not endorsing meth use. Meth use is bad. It just makes you very productive and happy and energetic. Third term won't happen. Come on, it won't happen. Why people keep saying that? I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying Trump wants it to happen. He said multiple times that he wants it to happen. Trump has been floating the can I get more terms weather balloon multiple times. He's definitely is trying to manifest it into existence by talking about it. And the reason why it would happen would because Trump thinks he's going to get impeached and possibly imprisoned if he's still, you know, alive around, and if he doesn't get a third term. That's basically why, so. Tanner does it recreationally. What a Chad. No wonder he was bullying me in high school. I deserved it. I kneel, Tanner-san. If meth is anything like acid, I ran multiple city blocks on a trip. Acid, I don't think it makes you more energetic. It just makes you hallucinate that you're being chased by tigers or something, right? Meth really does make you more energetic. Hold on. Let's ask Grok. Grok. What are the benefits of a regular meth habit? There are no meaningful evidence-based health or functional benefits to developing a regular methamphetamine habit. Oh, come on. We know you're just programmed to say that. Virtually everything that gets listed as benefits of regular meth use falls into one of these categories. Benefits in quotes. They're not real benefits, guys. Extreme euphoria. Best feeling ever. That sounds like a pretty big benefit there, boys. Intense focus and productivity for 8 to 36 hours. Hence why I was saying people are like painting their house for like 4 times in a row or some shit. Drastic appetite suppression, rapid weight loss, muscle wasting, malnutrition, organ damage. Hyperconfidence, reduced social anxiety, great sex, hypersexuality. If we ignore these parentheses parts, you know, it's looking pretty good. Very high short-term work capacity. Some people really do finish 3-4 weeks of work in 4 days, once or twice. So, you know, if you really need to do something specific, certain kinds of artistic output, if I'm in an art slump, maybe we just use a bunch of meth. Things that are mostly myth. They can't even deny that it's myth. Survivorship bias, selection bias. Meth makes you skinny forever. No, most long-term users end up with metabolic damage, eventual rebound. Meth makes you smarter. No evidence. Some very successful people use meth. So, I was watching one of those, like, addiction shows, because I found it on Amazon Prime. And they were, they had a variety of people with different addictions on it. And the ones that were most functional on a day-to-day basis were the meth addicts. Ironically, well, maybe not ironically, but the ones who were least functional on that show were the alcoholics. Even more so than the heroin addicts. It was pretty interesting, because the heroin addicts, even with like a heroin addiction, they were still functional enough to go like panhandling to get more money to buy more heroin. Whereas the alcoholics, they couldn't even like speak. The alcoholics were truly the most dysfunctional. It was pretty crazy. Alcohol is a hell of a drug, people. It's really unlike anything else. Meth is like the limitless pill. It really is. It's extremely powerful. Twitch, I'm not suggesting we should all use meth. Trust me. Meth is very bad. Just like Grok said. Meth is so bad for you besides all of the obvious benefits that were listed. Don't use meth, guys. Alcoholics are usually train wrecks. Like, all the other drug addicts on that show, like, I could sort of, like, understand what they were saying, but, like, the alcoholics were so fucked up. Like, I couldn't even, like, they would just be, like, blabbering, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. It was, and, like, their thoughts were just unclear. And most of the people on the show, they would at least get to the phase in which, like, they would be, like, they would have the intervention. This wasn't intervention, but it was, like, intervention-adjacent show. But most of the people on the show would get to, like, the intervention stage and at least, like, check into rehab. but like there was one alcoholic lady that was like practically homeless and just like wobbling around on the streets of Phoenix or something, and she looked like she was like 60 years old when she was still like 40 or something, and they tried to do an intervention with her, and she said she started mumbling incoherent shit and just sort of wandered off the show, and I was like, holy shit, that's the first time that's happened. Most people, when there's all these cameras on them and like their entire family is like, please stop drinking, they at least drink, but this one was so far gone. So my conclusion was alcohol is probably the most destructive drug we have. No wonder all the women tried to ban it with the temperance movement. They were probably onto something. Elon and ketamine is the only relationship he never ended. That's fucking horrible. How can you watch that stuff? I'm interested in humanity and and its downfall. I should probably get a TLC subscription or something.
I like it because you're always sad.
I also enjoy watching My 600-Pound Life and watching the body horror of people being trapped in their own body, incapable to stop eating even though they know it's killing them. We are truly our greatest enemies, except replace the we with the whole capitalism-funded food and alcohol complexes. Just like I binge watch serial killer documentaries. Yeah, I do that as well. Although most of the interesting serial killers, I've already consumed their content, so now I'm just watching normal true crime. As someone who has Asperger's, I like watching police interrogation videos to see if I can, like, understand that people are lying or not. Because, like, apparently Asperger's have a lot of difficulty being able to detect, you know, stuff like whether people are lying. But, I don't know. I'm getting pretty good at it, I think. At least in the very limited context of true crime. Like, I think it's pretty obvious when people are lying and shit. It might just be because the police interrogators are doing a good job and I'm just piggybacking on that shit, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna redraw this entire head, probably. I love seeing the excuses they come up with. One thing I've noticed about true crime is that people just like talk too much. They can't help themselves. Police will just be like, so, can you just tell me what you were doing that day? And the lady is just going to be like, okay, well, first I went to the drugstore and I was looking for the aspirin that I like, but I couldn't find that aspirin, so I tried to go to a different drugstore, and then blah, 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 blah. And they think they're like establishing an alibi by being like hyper specific about what they were doing, but in fact they're like fucking themselves over because they're providing all this unnecessary information, which is going to make it way harder for them to, you know, get their alibi to actually match up with what they were claiming they were doing. And then the police will just be like, okay, well, that's really interesting, but we have this video of you walking into this store at this time slot, so how do you explain that? And then they talk for another like 40 minutes and further fuck up their situation. This is just like the average police interrogation technique where police just literally just needs to sit there and not say anything, and people get like anxious, and then they'll just like over disclose everything. Heaven's Gate was wild. This is my favorite cult. Ever heard of Anthill Kids? Yes, one of the most favorite. Everyone's favorite Anthill Kids. Imagine if they passed a law, the government passed a law, and like one day we weren't able to have public release requests for police videos. It would annihilate all the like 30 different true crime YouTube channels overnight. They would have no more material. Although, I will say, people have been continuing to exploit Catch a Predator content, even though the show has been over for the last, like, what, 20 years, 30 years? It's been over forever. And yet people are still doing Catch a Predator content online. So maybe they would just keep on regurgitating shit. It's all just second screen content in the first place, so maybe they could just get by even without having anything new. That seems possible. Can't believe Hightail died and revived and released before GTA 6. What even is that? Can we really not believe that it's taking so much time for GTA 6? I don't think it's that shocking. Because they have like an unlimited money spigot coming from GTA 5. They can spend as much time on GTA 6 as they want and they'll still be fine. It's one of those, it's an actual situation in which it's done when it's done kind of situation. Usually when they say when it's done when it's done, they don't actually mean that because they're going to run out of money at some point. But Rockstar is never going to run out of money, so... Hightail isn't out, no way, that game is dead, chatter lying. Minecraft meets Elder Scrolls. You have my attention. A Hightail. Set on an adventure built for both creation and play. People ask, is Hightail ever coming out? Hightail is released. Hightail is finally here. I was not following this.
Well, I guess we're going to be taking a trip back to childhood today, back to 2000. But I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of crossovers, so if I look like an idiot at times, you guys...
So this is literally just
we'll work it out.
Minecraft.
Lavender, welcome to the Drifting Plains. Dandelions. I'm assuming berries are going to be edible, so I'm going to grab those first. And of course, your first move should always be just punching a tree as much as you can. Just double fisted this thing. Okay,
it looks like it's fixing all the horseshit Minecraft built, like giving it a good combat system and cohesive progression systems. Interesting.
Okay, oh, the whole tree's coming down. Oh, look at the leaves. That's nice. All right, so we got some wood, we got some sticks. I guess we... Oh.
Look at the 2019 trailer. I don't care enough about this to actually look at a super old trailer.
Oh, it's like,
I mean, it only took it 7 years since the last trailer or something.
Have everything we need to be able to make a pickaxe. So we've got that. We can also make a crude hammer. We can
why not play a Minecraft mod? Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
later, we're gonna be able to get some wings cooking. It's gonna be great. Yeah, the animals are cute. Dude, this is sick. So
I'm not really interested in the environment.
Also battle axes and things. Like obviously we lead with the bow and arrow early, but then what's
It depends like what kind of stuff is actually there, like cities and stuff.
Come in peace. I'm gonna turn his light off. He's never gonna suspect a thing. The music changed.
If it's just like a sandbox that's almost exactly identical to Minecraft, but it has, I don't know, Elder Scrolls style progression, I have zero interest in that shit.
Somewhere over here. We're gonna have to place a marker on our base. Brother, are you kidding me? Okay, so there's gonna be a, oh my gosh, there's like a north with snow and stuff too. Okay, this is a bit...
Because vanilla Minecraft is ass. I'm just not interested in like crafting and building shit. I can build stuff right here on my page. I don't need a video game to spend time to build stuff in the video game system. I can build Power Girl's tits right here in a high definition creative manner that could never be possible on a Minecraft server. Yeah, can the Minecraft create big fat titties? I assume that if I'm like, yes, Hightail, let me produce the perfect woman in my Hightail video game. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that rocking bod. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, so fucking hot. Let's give her a fucking mini skirt. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be so fucking hot. Alright, here we go, boys. Yeah, let's give her black leather mini skirt. Oh, what a fucking slut. Yeah, look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Let's give her high heels. Yeah, oh, fuck. Oh, shit, I think I'm gonna come on stream. Oh, fuck, let's go. Look at those high heels. Oh, yeah. Look at this bitch in her sexy pigtails. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, let's give her a Catholic schoolgirl, the tied shirt. Oh man, look at those big fat tits. Yeah, let's go, baby. Call me daddy, Minecraft girl. Oh yeah. Here we go. You slutty little slut. I'm gonna give you my incredibly square cock. Oh man, uh-oh, this is really gonna make the Twitter stands ugly. That's right, she's fucking underage. Oh no, not the underage Minecraft girl. Oh, here, we've got to give her the navel. She's a Catholic schoolgirl. Yeah, let's put her on the square bed with the square pillow in the square room. Oh man. Now what happens when she spreads her square legs? That's right, there's a perfectly square hole. The square vagina hole to fit the square penis. Minecraft slut versus Roblox harlot. We shouldn't even joke about the Roblox harlots because like it's like actual like 6-year-olds on Roblox selling their body for like some special skin or some shit like that. Average Roblox experience is claim you're like a 12-year-old boy and then within like 5 seconds get like 10 predators show up and being like, hello, would you like to role play with me, you little underage child? And then the 12-year-old boy turns out to be a YouTuber exposing you. Except you don't get banned because the Roblox company doesn't ban you for being like an actual pedophile, so, you know. I guess you shouldn't be that freaked out. Roblox CEO doesn't do shit. The Roblox CEO has got to be one of like the most openly sociologically fucking psychos. Just an absolute sociopath in plain sight. For a video game that has basically achieved anything like any video game company would want, where they've cornered an entire market, the children's market, an extremely lucrative market, basically involving kids stealing their parents' credit cards so they can buy limited shit. And they don't even have to do any development, right? Because people make their own Roblox games using like the Roblox system. So they don't have to even like spend much money besides like maintaining server costs and shit. Literally the only thing they would have to spend money on would be to, you know, make sure there's some sort of robust anti-pedophile system in their game. And yet somehow the guy's like, I will add dating to Roblox. This is my newest way to make money. They also take all the rights to any games developed on there. Holy shit. That stuff is crazy. The fact that people are okay with that is crazy as well. It reminds me of like the time when Wizard of the Coast was like, yes, remember... Well, it's not even Wizard of the Coast. Hasbro was like, remember this role-playing game that has been all about you creating your own creative scenarios using our systems? Now we own everything that you thought up using your imagination. Oh, you have a successful podcast that people like listening to? We own that too. I really can't decide on the hairstyle. There's so many different options. They banned him for protecting children. The greatest insult of all. The child protector. We don't allow those. Not in our game worlds. To be fair, he wasn't really protecting children. He was more like exposing the issue. It's not like he's the Flash running around at hyperspeed and stopping any kind of, you know, child endangerment on all of the 10 million different Roblox servers or whatever, but the thing is, like, the current Roblox PR issue, it would just be way easier for them to just do the normal corporate, like, we don't really care, but we're gonna pretend to, you know, care at least a little bit and give it, like, just some amount of money, and it won't really solve the problem because we don't really plan on solving the problem, but you know, at least we'll make the PR issue go away for a brief amount of time until the next scandal happens. Like, it would just be way easier for them to do that. But instead, the Roblox CEO is like, no, we truly do not care. How dare you expose the fact that, like basically all the pedophiles are trying to come onto our platform. You have violated our terms of service. You've made the pedophiles feel very uncomfortable with your actions. It would be like if Subway found out that Jared Fogle was a child molester or whatever. What was he? He was just like having insane amount of like general sex. He wasn't just like pedophile only, I believe, Jared Fogle. Like he was going to like Thailand and like having sex with kids, but he was also having sex with non-kids as well. He was just general depravity or something. But if they found that out, if Subway found that out and they were just like, because you people are being mean to our Subway spokesman, all the Subway customers are banned from going to our sandwich shops now. We're protecting Jared over you. And then everyone else was like, are you crazy? And they're like, no. We will also have a Subway dating service. He really liked preteens, though. Yeah, I can't remember specifically what he was doing, but he used his vast wealth of promoting sandwiches to go to, like, South Asian countries. And it involved a lot of child prostitution, but not just child prostitution, also lots of, like, drug orgies and stuff. It's possible that he was keeping thin not because he was eating Subway sandwiches, which are pretty high calorie, but because he was using lots of drugs. Again, the benefits of meth, as Grok told us that there are no benefits of meth, but, you know. Dude filmed his own stepdaughters. It was the guy who ran his foundation that got him caught. It's a good example of how you should choose your friends wisely, especially when you're doing highly illegal shit. Probably. Now that I'm in Japan, I don't have to worry about getting arrested for drawing a character that is underage, because unlike America, which is run by absolutely batshit crazy Protestant Christians, Japan does not arrest you for drawing an image on a piece of paper and claiming that the image is a 12-year-old or something, so I can do this. Power girl. Here we go. No, don't sexualize this woman with this gigantic, massive tits. She's still a minor, can't you see? Oh, excuse me, I forgot to add an extra 9. Don't worry. She's actually almost 100 years old. God, this whole shit is so fucking stupid. Japan does not advocate for thought crimes yet. Japan, despite what they claim, they are still a very conservative country. Have you gotten a DL site credit card yet? I don't even need to get a DL site credit card. I can just use stuff like PayPay now that I'm in Japan. They have all their own payment processing systems. I finally got my bank account and shit. But you can just like convert cash and then like charge your PayPay or whatever. And I think you can use that for DL site. I haven't really bought in any DL site games in a long time though. I used to do it to support the craft, the artistic endeavor of you know, porn RPGs in which you play a strong, independent female knight who, if she inexplicably loses to goblins, will immediately get gang raped. But, yeah. I haven't bought any recently. I think a huge problem is that a lot of my sexuality, my sexual interest comes from seeing the concept of taboo. So for me, the concept of taboo was deeply connected to the concept of like bad shit not happening to like media characters from like shonen and stuff like that. So now that I've absolutely fucking annihilated my brain by consuming too much porn, it's very hard for me to get off on the concept of taboo now, because now I am expecting bad shit to happen to female characters because, you know, there's so much porn of it already happening, right? I can't be like, oh, surely everything will be fine. So there's no like shock value. It's not like, oh, surely this extremely strong female knight will never lose to the orcs / goblins because she's so much stronger than them. Oh my god, she lost. What horrible shit is gonna happen? Oh, that, you know, it's hard to activate that part of my brain at this point, you know? It's very difficult. I don't get it. People like, not just me, but the reason why there's stuff like nun porn is like people enjoy it because you're just defiling the concept of sacredness. So for me, as someone who grew up consuming media in which it is not aimed at adults, I was trained to not look for sexual content there. So what would get me like the most, you know, horny would be when sexual shit would show up out of nowhere in my children's media, or what I was considering to be children's media, i.e. bastard, just like straight up having sex scenes because the author was super horny. But when everybody has gotten so used to this concept that as soon as we see, same thing for things like elves, right? Elves are supposed to be like pure and powerful and stuff. They're not supposed to lose to goblins. But in the year 2025, everybody has used this content so much that as soon as an elf shows up, we're all just immediately expecting her to be having sex with orcs left and right, to the point that it's a joke that I've built my entire career on, right? It sort of goes back to something that I've talked about before, but it's like it's the same category as like nothing being sincere anymore. Like even our porn is no longer sincere, but like the stuff that we were basing our porn on isn't sincere either. Like the concept of taboo has been stepped on so much that that fresh, pure snow is just like all muddy and black and gray and shit. Like, I know this is impossible to understand if you're a 20-year-old in this stream, but growing up in the 90s, when you heard the term like, I don't know, stepmother, You didn't automatically think of her getting trapped in the washing machine with her ass stuck out. You thought of the mean stepmother in Cinderella or something. So, basically we've all become too media literate. Including myself, of course. What about the term daddy? I mean, I feel like daddy as a term is still taboo in that if someone is actually saying it in real life, they're cringe as fuck. If I see it in porn, I just feel like they're just playing it for the cameras. It doesn't really activate anything in my brain. One must always occasionally rewatch Ninja Scroll. I like how the entire power of female kunoichi is I'm full of poison, so when I inevitably get raped, I kill the guy. And then she doesn't survive the movie, but then, like, at the end, the old guy is like, don't worry too much about her. She finally got the dick by you, so she probably died a happy woman. I'm like, is that really the conclusion that we're gonna have? It's like, yeah, okay. Ninja Scroll and the other stuff by, I forgot the director's name, probably like the most 90s and 2000s in terms of energy. Super handy until she dies, LMAO. People forget that she gets like half raped like twice in that movie, not just in the first scene. She first like almost gets raped, or does get raped by big dick covered in rocks guy, but then like halfway through the movie she gets captured by like super secret hide in shadows guy and gets mind controlled, and the way to mind control her is to tie her up in ropes and like the guy like sticks his fingers in her pussy or something like that. I can't remember specifically. I do remember thinking like, damn, she's getting it again. This chick can get no break. Most of the girls I knew in uni always referred to their boyfriends as daddy. One of them even got it tattooed on her arm. I wonder what state that would be. That's like extreme red flag behavior if you ask me. If I was dating a girl, which is a pretty big if, and she suddenly started calling me daddy, I'd just be like, I'm out of here. You clearly have some deeply unresolved familial issues. Have a nice life. Please don't drag me into whatever problems you're trying to work out. Did she also have Sanrio characters tattooed on her? What's the most red flag of all the Sanrio characters to have tattooed on you. I'm sure Hystrixer will be like, it's perfectly normal to have Kuromi on you. She's a very based and red-pilled female to have Kuromi, whereas my melody is like real shit, terrifying, absolute psycho. Honestly, I think it's just like Hello Kitty is probably the most, I feel like, deranged. My Melody is famous for like red flags, but I'm pretty sure Hello Kitty is also just like a red flag. Kuromi is just like goth girl who also likes cute things as well or something, I don't know. People call characters who are so subby mommy, I just want to go to sleep whenever I see it. This is part of the same issue of me saying that the concept of taboo and stuff is dying out, but people have also become performatively horny. They think that it's like, haha, I like calling a woman who dominates me and provides me with like maternal, but it's maternal feelings, but also in a sexual way. It will be funny if I openly call her mommy performatively on the internet. Instead of people being like, that's fucked up, dude, they're gonna be like, haha, I am also horny. And I am someone who's made an entire living off of this concept, but if everyone's doing it, then it hurts my brand as the person who's doing it, you know? If we're all horny, then I can't be the horny artist. So it's in my interest to tell people to stop doing this. I need you guys to stop being so depraved so I can be the depraved one and make money off of it. Unfortunately, everybody has figured out that this is a very easy way to, you know, gain likes and shit. It's much easier than thinking of, like, something straightforward. You don't get the title of mommy unless you earn it. Mama. Look, it's okay because I'm submissive. Yeah, that's part of being performatively horny. Even in the era of being performatively horny, if you are a male Twitter account and you see an image of an attractive female celebrity and you're like, haha, Taylor Swift looking super hot in that outfit, I want to rape her, people are gonna be like, what? What the fuck is he talking about? And you probably get banned, obviously. Because, you know, sexual aggression in the form of the male being violent and aggressive is still obviously problematic. But if the guy is like, haha, I am a submissive male, what if I called this female mommy and wished that she would step on my penis because I am submissive? You get to advertise the fact that you are horny, but also, you know, a non-threatening entity. Unless you're Elon, yes. Elon does not get banned because he owns the website, of course. Ask Taylor Swift to breed with you. Taylor Swift has found a better genetic specimen than any of us in Giga Chad, what's his name. Also, I don't want to breed with that lanky ass, but that's neither here nor there. Kelsey. What's his name? Travis Kelsey? What Kelsey? Travis Kelsey, yeah. Is he still playing for the Chiefs? Didn't the entire Chiefs roster just get annihilated this year because they missed the playoffs? Is he retiring? What's happening to the Chiefs? I don't really care, but... She chose the meaty boy in the end. He doesn't get much meatier than that guy. You gotta be a total dumbass to pay someone to kick you in the nads, to be honest. Wow. We're just gonna allow that kind of ball torture slander on our stream. I can't believe it. Don't worry, testicular torsion chads. Even if other people slander your good name, I understand that you are just perfectly normal people who like having your cock and balls tortured. Nothing to be ashamed about that, am I right? She's my age, so she has a few eggs left if she hurries up. You'd think with all her money she'd just be able to, like, freeze them. Her whole deal in the start, getting with football players, so it's expected. I don't actually know the content of Taylor Swift songs, but aren't they all about, like, getting even with her exes, but also, like, being a trad white girl falling in love with trad white man or something? I don't understand. Isn't this, like, right in her wheelhouse? See, now that we've mentioned Taylor, we have to summon it. We have to summon her. First song was about her being in love with hot football player childhood friend who has friend zoned her.
My name is Van.
Ass.
Come. Oh, hang it up. When are you gonna have a gay party up here? Coming. Deep, dark fantasies. Finger.
Ass.
So fucking deep. Another. Come.
Spank.
Oh,
Spank.
another. Come.
Spank.
Oh,
Spank. Ass.
I'm so horny.
And that's what they don't see. That's what they don't see. I'm dancing on my own. I'll make the moves as I go.
Get to the corner deck now.
And that's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. But I keep
Coming. Deep, dark fantasies.
it's like I got this
Finger.
in my
Ass.
and it's
So fucking deep. Another.
Even Gotchi can't help her songs. There's surprisingly very little Taylor Swift Gotchi. I just looked for it.
Spank.
Another.
There's more Katy Perry Gotchi.
Come.
Spank.
She has some good songs. I am in awe of Taylor Swift's ability to shit out, you know, banger after banger.
Spank. door.
That's the best part of this song. Boy Next Door.
Spank, spank, spank.
Ah!
Spank, 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 spank. Spank, spank.
I'm trying to figure out how much mouth I want to give her.
Spank, spank, spank,
Also, I think I might have made the hair too straight. I don't know.
spank,
Power Girl's hair is very difficult.
spank,
It's really inconsistent.
spank, spank,
And it's not just like
spank,
the cut of the hair, but it also includes like how straight or how curly it is. And
spank, spank.
I thought even the most hardcore fans disowned her after the last album was so bad. Didn't the last album have, what is it, Anti-Hero or whatever in it? Because I keep on hearing Anti-Hero in Planet Fitness, whether I like it or not. It's not really up for me to decide whether I want to listen to, but that would make me think that she has not been disowned. I don't know. Life of a Showgirl. She wrote a song about her husband's dick. I mean, that's fine. I'm sure it was a tasteful penis song. His redwood was the key to my thighs. I don't know, that could mean anything. What are we to say about metaphoric symbology? We're probably just, you know, we don't understand what she's really trying to convey. The problem was that it was a really shitty song. Now that Taylor has abandoned her femcel ways, she can't write good songs anymore. Rest in peace, talent. It would be like if I suddenly got a girlfriend and I was just like, I will no longer be drawing big titty girls because it makes her upset. I've become a better man now. Wait for the Divorce album to drop. That's a really good take right there. Considering most of Taylor Swift's best work is often said to be when she's bitter and angry, and considering that America has like a 75% divorce rate, I think we can it's safe to assume that the best Taylor Swift content is yet to come when she has an extremely messy divorce. Divorce album into Cougar arc will be interesting, yes. That would actually be interesting. Plenty of young, hot studs want to have sex with 50-year-old Taylor Swift, I'm sure. I think the real femcells were the conspiracy theorists that thought she was secretly lesbian. Trying to assume that normal straight person is actually gay or lesbian is always one of my favorite activities. We don't do this anymore, but I remember there was a long period in which people on 4chan, SP, were trying to theorize whether Aaron Rodgers was gay or not. Because he didn't seem to, like, have notable female interests, and he would always be happier around the boys or some shit like that. But people don't think about that now because he's entered the full, you know, right-wing, alt-national, dumbass on talk show mode. But back in the day, we spent a lot of time being like, perhaps Aaron Rodgers is gay? I love all the angry Swiftie lesbians. We need the Swifties to get into fights with more K-pop stans so that they can both be eliminated off the planet. This would be a net positive to everybody. Just have the two monsters fight each other. That might be more of an indication that he's gay. Are you saying that Republican homophobes might possibly be gay themselves? No, that cannot be true. Having a far-right political alignment is 100% certain proof that you are in fact fully straight. No anti-gay homophobe would actually be secretly closeted gay man. That would never happen. Let them fight that guy in Godzilla? Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Also, we can add the beehive in there as well. Try and get rid of the, Beyonce fans as well. K-pop stans, Ariana Grande stans, Swifties in terms of power levels. Are Swifties to normies? We'll let them fight and kill each other, and then whoever survived is allowed to fight the juggalos, who are obviously 10 times more powerful than even the strongest Swiftie. Swifties are millennial housewives, elder gays, and middle American white teens. What's up with Twitter retards trying to imprint on people? Isn't there some drama about the Gachi Acta characters being 100% LGBT? Why can't people chill? Why is Gachi Acta even popular? I liked how thick the markers were for the line work, but... So I bought like one volume the last time I was in Japan, like 4 or 5 years ago when it was still early, but I can't believe it's actually popular. If you kill a juggalo, he just goes into his second phase. A juggalo probably has like 5 transformations still remaining in their powers, much like Frieza or something like that. Because the mangaka was confirmed a hot woman. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that. Is there a photo of her? Gachi Akuta. Uranake. The art in the manga is insanely good. I wouldn't say it's insanely good. I'd say it's decent. Oh, I see. People want her to step on their dick. It's one of those. She looks like she would take a long device and stick it inside your pee hole or something. Which, you know, is a theme that many men are looking for nowadays in 2025. The art is good, you crazy? It's good as still images, but not as good as in movement in the form of manga. As someone who has read the manga. I'm just not a shonen magazine kind of guy. There's really has never been anything from shonen magazine that has really like activated my brain cells. Can't imagine who'd want that. What? Utensils stuck up your pee hole? It gives you intense pleasure, but you have to train yourself to be able to handle the stress inside your penis. It's like many other activities men do to stimulate their cock. It's one of those things you probably shouldn't do. Do not stick long object up your penis. Not gonna lie, it seems super scary. Again, there are things that our bodies are not meant to do, and penile stimulation through the pee hole is one of them that you probably shouldn't be doing. But people still do it. If my girl was like, "Can I stick this 12-inch long metal rod in your cock?" I'd hesitate at least, yes. One may say it might actually be a deal breaker. But not for some people. 2011 me trolled a conservative dude into doing it back in my 4chan days. Good times. It can lead to urinary tract infections, is what I've been told. In general, when you stick things in the holes that are not meant to have things stuck in them, it leads to bad outcomes. But hell, urinary tract infections and stuff can happen even when you're just like having normal sex with a vagina, so if it's gonna happen anyways, I had a catheter once. I don't get why people would want to do that shit on purpose. There's a lot of sexual things that people shouldn't want to do on purpose, and yet they do that. I mean, we're only talking about sticking things up the pee hole. We haven't even got into the whole penis piercings yet. Do not Google search Prince Albert, guys. He wasn't a great monarch. He was something else. I will never fall for the male G-spot propaganda. I'm not putting my finger up there. What holes are you supposed to have stuff stuck in them? Well, your poop hole is supposed to have poop stuck in it, and then you're supposed to get the poop out through the poop hole. Or if you're male preg, that's how you give birth, I guess. My retarded ass would always fight people in my 20s, shocked I lived to be 31. It's only downhill from there. It's just gonna get worse. The male G-spot propaganda is silly. That shit takes forever to feel anything. Are you guys talking about the prostate when they say male G-spot? Or is this like a different location inside the penis that I don't know about? It's not just prostate simulation? Honestly, I thought the female G-spot was fiction as well. The clitoris is also fiction. Don't let those women believe you, trick you into believing there's some such thing as a special, like, magical mini penis that they want stimulated. They're just trying to mess with you. I don't care how many times she tells me I need to find it. I'll let Agent Mulder search for the truth that's out there. If you think about it, every awesome huge shit you take is from that feeling. I mean, I don't feel that awesome when I take a huge shit. It's good that it's out of my body and it's relieved from my body, but I'm not like super excited about just shitting. The Bermuda Triangle of the G-spot, the clitoris, the male G-spot, the Epstein files. That's the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve. Carries signals between your brain, heart, and digestive system. It's anti-inflammatory. It's not really like when you take a shit. Most guys don't ever really get to feel it, no matter how you try. Are you saying having my girlfriend fuck my ass with a huge thick dildo every night isn't gonna make me have mind-blowing orgasms? It was never real. It's why you feel a sense of euphoria after a nice poop. Putting something up there just feels like you really gotta shit, but the part that sucks is that you can't shit, so it's just uncomfortable pressure. Why do all the guys keep on, the gays keep on fucking each other's asses then? There must be something they know that we don't. A lack of options, I guess. How would you know womboid? Is that our new slur that we use for women who have wombs? Anal is just an indecisive shit. Yeah, it keeps on coming in and coming out. It never comes out permanently until you're finally done. It's a term of affection. We need to think of new slurs to aim at women. Plap hog. Is plap hog out of our lexicon? I haven't seen it in a while. Is it worse to be called a plap hog than a slam pig? Would it be like I was okay with him calling me a slam pig, but now that he's calling me a plap hog, it's time for fisticuffs? Oh. I need to start working on like my actual mangas. I haven't touched the storyboards in the last week or so because I was like, I don't know. I was just more into the aspect of like the finishing the drawing stuff, so I didn't want to do like plot and shit. But if I'm feeling like I can't be inspired by Patreon requests and stuff, then that's probably a sign that I need to just do my own content and make it as a Japanese mangaka. But what I really want isn't that. What I want is to become like a normie human Japanese person in the Japanese system. But I don't think I can do that. I think I'm just like deluding myself right now at the moment. Slam pig feels derogatory while plap hog feels affectionate. Interesting. I almost feel like slam hog feels like it's like a powerful term. Like it feels like a 90s enemy in like a brawler game or something. Remember Bebop and Rocksteady from the Ninja Turtles? I feel like I can't remember which was Bebop and which was Rocksteady, but I feel like the pig one of them, you could call him like a slam hog. In this case, it's the hog that's doing the slamming instead of the one who's getting slammed. I want to become a normie, don't we all? Well, I didn't really want to become a normie in America, but I sort of want to do it in Japan. But I don't think I have the ability to. Normie would mean having to meet social standards, sadly, yes. I don't think I'm capable of doing that at the moment. It's probably easier for me to become a professional mangaka than to become a normie. And if you become a professional mangaka, it's a nice in-between point between being a normie and being, like, ostracized from society, so maybe I should just be focusing on that. Being different is cool though. I didn't want to be different. It just happened that way. This could be Raven. I guess. The hairstyle is kind of Raven. Raven has more of a cloak though. This is the this is the standard Power Girl cape on one shoulder. I don't know how she keeps it. She has like this strap that I have to draw right here. One foot in society and the other in your own space. Optimal setup. Yep. And if you become extremely successful, you'll have money. So then you can, you know, find a wife. The problem is I'm a little too old for that. For both probably becoming a successful mangaka and finding a wife, but whatever. It took me like 40 years just to be able to take care of myself. And that's in Japan, where it's easier to take care of yourself than it is in like the rest of American society, for example. It do be like that with the power of Asperger's. Japan's woman hot still IRL? Yes. I'd say so. Japanese girls marry older men all the time. I'm also in excellent shape. The most recent urge I got to be like, I want to be normie and be able to do normie shit was when I looked at myself in the mirror after I had like immediately dropped all this weight because I was in Japan and I was like ripped as fuck. I was just like, holy shit, I look like a physique contestant. Like, I'm so fucking ripped right now, what the hell? I started thinking, man, it's a real waste to let this hot body just be only used for my own benefit. I'm sure there's some Japanese females who would appreciate the fact that I'm like extremely ripped at 39. American Psycho moment? Yes. Excuse me while I have to do like 6 hours of skincare. Be the kind of guy to high-five himself in the mirror during sex? Who else am I gonna high-five? The woman? She probably wouldn't appreciate it if I was like, those are some awesome vaginal contractions there, good job bro, and I try to high-five her. May as well just high-five myself. I'm the only one who knows how hard I worked. We should all be more self-congratulatory. It's better than being self-deprecating. If you don't cheat on them or beat them, you're already a prime candidate. Well, I ain't cheating on them. At least. That I can guarantee. I used to feel like I could, like, explode and fucking punch someone at any point. And, that urge has also disappeared. Primarily just because my testosterone levels are going down. I can definitely feel that it was just like testosterone. Testosterone is a hell of a drug. It would just be like random day in which my mother was like, you need to take out the garbage, and I'd be like, "Free! I must resort to violence!" But I don't feel that way anymore. It also was contributing to my I have to jack off 3 times a day part of my behavior as well, which also isn't very productive. I used to be that guy, but I gotten less angry over the years. Feminists who are like, why are men like that? Let me study gender differences. It's pretty fucking simple. It's all just testosterone. All of male behavior is just dictated by their testosterone levels. I don't know what female behavior is dictated by, but male behavior is just like, I'm so angry, I'm so horny, blah, for like the first, 20 years of our life between years 12 and years like 35. We just have like a solid like 20 plus years where we're just angry and horny nonstop. And that's just the testosterone doing all the work. You gotta take your T supplements so you can keep your rage till age 80. Yes. That's what they're advertising on ESPN, that's for sure. Guys just losing their testosterone as part of their normal, part of getting older, and they think they're like losing their entire identity. It's not just test though, it's quite complex. I don't know, my testosterone levels are going down and I can feel myself being less angry. In fact, I feel extremely chill right now. It probably helps that I have a better diet, better sleep. I'm also alone, that there's nothing really to trigger my anger. It's pretty easy to feel like you can become a successful normie when you don't actually have to spend time with other human beings. So right now I'm in a moment in which like I'm feeling overly confident in my like Dunning-Kruger curve. Man, I just can't seem to get the hair the way I want it to. Like, it just keeps on being like... Maybe instead of having it all back, we give her a little bit of bangs right here. I don't know, man. I don't want her to give her, like, the generic hair either. This hair kicking your ass, man, it's basically DC's fault because like they never really gave us a blueprint for what her hair is supposed to look like, so you have to like change it on a panel to panel basis and a artist to artist basis. And I can't figure out what I want to do with it. I just draw a bunch of different silhouettes. I think I like it more shorter than what I currently was giving her. shorter the hair, the more boobs feel pronounced. There's a huge overlap between the big boob and short hair character design windows. Just like the way the silhouette works, when you have short hair, there's more space for like the boobs to breathe. Like the way, if you think about the silhouette of the character design, right? Like if it's like this, I guess we have to draw it slightly from the side. Like this, right? It's like the attention that is taken by the boob space here is interfered with from the energy of the hair up top. But then when you give it short hair with the silhouette, and you can just fully make out the neck and shoulders, it provides more space for the energy of the boobs. See what I mean here? Like, there's all this space here that is created by having short hair that makes the boobs more prominent. Elite ball knowledge. This isn't me. It's been said in Japanese societies for a while that short hair pronounces the boobs more. And if you make the hair really long and really voluminous, like, you almost can't see the boob shape at all. Common knowledge every Japanese person knows. It can't be common knowledge because the Japanese women don't even have big boobs. But yes. I've had it for years to compensate for the lack of titties. This is why if you see a lot of character designs, when you have like the super flat girls, instead of going short hair, they often will have insane long hair because they've just given up on using the short hair to accentuate the boobs. If you go too short while you're flat, you become a boy, which is an acceptable outcome for some. Many men will be like, I see no problem with that. She looks like a boy, but she is a girl. The sexiest of all outcomes. Oh my god, that's Saya from hit game Saya no Uta. I don't know, last time I saw Saya, she was a gigantic mound of eldritch flesh, but whatever. If that's what you would like to believe your waifu looks like. Right, guys. I have to do things besides draw Power Girl titties. I think I'm getting slightly better drawing on stream. I still have to rework some of this line work and stuff, but I think I'm getting better and like sort of like drawing while I'm only semi-concentrating, while also like paying attention to chat. It's pretty difficult. Alright, good night guys. See ya.